Galactic Messages here. I haven't been really getting very much engagement since I've been doing the long forms, but I can't do the short form videos on the channel. For some reason, YouTube stopped them. So hopefully I get some more engagement with the videos for your stories that you all were watching. They're not long videos, so it's not because of that, but hopefully they're getting out there and started gaining more traction. But I did a 5-card Celtic cross spread, and for your story this time today, 1227 could have significance to you. But let's go ahead and get started. The bottom of the deck is Page of Wands. So this could be some sort of good news, an action-oriented message. It could be a message from a younger fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It could be some sort of, like I said, take charge message, someone thinking about sending a message or something like that. The issue here that's going on in your environment or in regards to this other party that you may not be aware of is here right in the middle of the deck, middle of the spread, is the Hermit cards. The Hermit card is that what you may not see is that someone is reflecting on the situation, or someone's in some sort of withdrawn mode. Maybe someone ghosted a situation. But I feel like someone's reflecting on a situation. They're doing some research as well, which you may not be aware of as far as in the environment. But also the Hermit represents the card of Virgo. So maybe perhaps there's a Virgo that's hidden that has something to do with this particular storyline that you're not aware of. The current situation is the first card here is the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is like endings, stress, endings, betrayal, and things like that. The challenge or obstacle here is the Nine of Pentacles. So the challenge is like big independence, doing things alone, being single, and things like that is the challenge. The advice here is the Three of Wands. Your advice is to pretty much keep your back towards the past or situation and keep looking forward. Keep waiting for, things to arrive. Keep making plans and keep expanding, your environment, your mind. Keep taking actions that's going to move you forward towards that next level, which would be the Four of Wands, which would be, home, family, stability, celebration, organization, home, things like that. And different events. If it's getting engaged or married or something like that, like the Four of Wands represent, keep your eye on that, on whatever that prize is that represents the Four of Wands to you. If it's building a home, it's moving and things like that, keep your eyes, keep forward towards that, and keep your back towards the past where, it was stress and betrayal and being alone and things like that, feeling withdrawn and things like that. And the outcome is the Queen of Pentacles. So that's like big boss, feminine energy, someone who's very much so satisfied where they are in the material world, as they say, as a female. The matriarch, they're very comfortable in being in matriarch type roles. They're not, feeling like, the patriarch has gotten the best of them, or that, I need to be with a man to provide, or I need to follow the status quo. This queen here is like, no, I can do it by myself. I can do it on my own. So rather than look at the fact and the challenge that you're alone, or that you're single and that you have pretty much have it all, you just don't have a partner, look at the fact that you don't need one. And if at one point you felt like you did, you're going to be seeing the fruits of your labor if you keep focusing on the future, your future plan, your future goal, that you never needed one. So when you do actually meet someone, if that's your desire, if a relationship is your thing, or a business partner, you feel like you need a man or a home, or someone in a home or in a business, you'll realize that you don't need it, but it's something now that since you have everything on your own, you're like, I can appreciate a counterpart, a helpmate, but they're helping me in other fashions, or they're adding to what I already have in my bank account. They're the handyman because maybe I'm not good at the handyman type stuff. So now you're realizing that they're helpful to you when you finally meet a partner or a business partner. They're helpful to you in other ways that you may not have realized before, because you may have been more dependent before in other ways. So look at it in the mindset is that you are someone, you're independent, but it does not mean that you cannot benefit from having a partner. And it doesn't mean that they can't benefit you in other ways. And it doesn't mean that you need to be dependent upon them. Just appreciate the fact that you're not dependent. So that way no one's calling the shots. You don't need a tyrant boss or family member or lover or husband that feels like they're still in that patriarch mindset that, you must do for me, I'm the man, you must scratch me, even if, especially nowadays where you have men that don't even want to bring anything to the table, but they don't want to bring the bacon home anymore. They don't want to provide. They feel like they don't need to provide, and maybe they don't, especially when you have someone who's independent, but they need to be able to bring some sort of leavening, even, some sort of balancing, some sort of support in some way, even if they're not providing financially. It just depends on what you all desire in relationships and in business. Still be able to bring something, like I said, bring a skill set of knowing how to fix something, if that's the case. Bring a skill set of taking care of the children, if that's the case. Bring a skill set of, cooking dinner or washing dishes or cleaning the home, if that's the case. Maybe you wash dishes or wash clothes help out washing clothes. If you're with a man who feels like they do not need to provide financially, let them bring something to the table that balances out the whole point of a partnership. It doesn't have to be done in the same way as yesteryear when they said, I'm the man and I'm the provider, I bring the bacon and you need to sit home and be quiet. It doesn't have to be that, but you need to be bringing something as an individual in any relationship, whether it's money or not. But this is what the Queen of Pentacles is realizing, what has in the focus that she needs to focus on, that you could be, if you go back into the space of I'm alone and I need a man, or I wanted a man, or I thought, I need a man to feel complete. Remember that you can always have someone who's a tyrant, like I said, and you wish that he wasn't there because he's trying to dictate everything while barely doing anything because you don't have your own. So you just kind of shift your perspective. If you're feeling like I'm alone, I've been alone for a while, I wish I could. Yeah, I get it. But just see the benefits of it. Focus more on the benefits of it, more so of the alone aspect of it. The withdrawn aspect of it. The solitude aspect of it. Shift your focus to the abundant part of it. Yes, I take care of myself. I come home and relax. Ain't nobody telling me what to do. I don't have to get up and do this. And my pH balance is on point and all that. That type of thing. So with that being said, that's your story. Bye-bye.